If you are conscious of God's presence and God's promises, you will notice that courage will rise up in your spirit. The devil wants you to be conscious of your failure. The devil wants you to be conscious of your circumstances. Refuse to be conscious of those things. Be rather conscious of God's presence and what God said. In the midst of the battle, let only scripture come out of you. You will see that, all of us deal with fear from time to time. Those days when I was learning how to deal with fear, when you are driving in the night and you pass through some places, your head will become big as if it is a mountain. And goosebumps everywhere in your body. You start looking around the car, whether something's at the back. I experienced all of that. You on all the car, all the light. It's like somebody sat behind. We were there. But God taught me something. Every time fear comes, I either start quoting scripture or I start speaking in tongues. Anything you do that increases God's consciousness kills fear. As you are talking, after a while, you'll discover that God's consciousness will saturate you. And courage will rise up. Fear will vanish. The first way to build courage is to build consciousness of God's presence and God's promises. Number 2, building courage. Understand and believe God's faithfulness. When God tells you, I'm with you. When God tells you, I will do it. You need to get yourself to understand and believe it. That God is not a man that he should lie. Most people are afraid because they are not sure if God will show up. If you are able to understand and believe in God's faithfulness, even when you are standing in a place that looks as if shame is inevitable, you will still be bold, and most times you will come out triumphant. He said they looked up to him and their faces were radiant and they were not ashamed. That was what David knew. In 1 Samuel 17, 45 and 46 that we read, he went in the covenant. He didn't come as a fighter. There's a place for that. But he showed up. He said, David said, thou comest to me with a sword. He said, with a spear and with a shield. He said, but I come to thee in the name of the Lord of hosts, the God of the armies of Israel, whom you have defiled. He knew that his God will show up. I don't have a bow. I don't have an arrow. Talking about warfare, you have all the advantage. But I come in the name of God. I come in the promises of God. And that was enough. One stone brought down the greatest warrior that the world ever knew. Because a young boy showed up standing on the covenant. What are you standing on? It matters. It matters what your confidence is on. Most of you trust men. He said, woe unto him that put his trust in the arms of flesh. Most of you trust your job. Hey, my company, I have car insurance, I have health insurance. Be joking. Is it not what they can cure that insurance will cover for? Everything is insured. Car is insured, health is in. I'm not against it. If it's a practice in your nation, do it. But make sure your confidence is in God. Make sure. Persuade yourself to put your confidence in God.